Morning team, it's me, your favourite Jordan at the screen, and today, my darlings, I would like to talk to you about women who should be in prison, episode 8. My goodness, episode 8 already. Well, I say already, except I've been doing fewer and fewer of these recently, simply because I don't want my channel to get consumed by this. I don't want it to become a one-issue thing that I do on my channel, because I've realised that as I've been doing a lot of work for this series, that I've not been focusing as much effort on other videos and other pieces of content. And I mean, I've had loads of people sending me cases. I've got fucking loads of them in a document that I still need to work my way through. So really what I'm getting at in a roundabout fashion is I've got lots of episodes ready, but I need to get lots of other stuff ready so that I can then mix it all together so that my channel doesn't get saturated with this. But I don't know why I'm offloading my problems onto you, my loving audience of, 100 people now? 100 people, fuck yes. Anyway, carrying on. First case, let's get straight into it. This is the case of Karen Eastwood, who was caught driving whilst under the influence, and the article that I get my information from came out on the 18th of October 2017. So let's get cracking. Karen Eastwood, 50, from Denton, Greater Manchester. Manchester. She did drink to 5 times the drink-drive limit and was seen veering around the road during the evening rush hour before being stopped by the police, where they found an empty bottle of wine next to the handbrake. Pretty fucking incriminating. Yet, this happened just 5 months after she was previously arrested for another drink-drive offence where she was found to be over 3 times the drink-drive limit. And, when she was caught the second time, she was actually on bail for the original charge. The judge remarked, "Miss Eastwood, we do agree that the custody threshold has been passed. Yes, son, you fall as a danger to yourself and the public due to the readings in both occasions. Each offence aggravates the other, going in the right direction. We are going to suspend the sentence due to your lack of previous convictions, but you do need some help. We are not going to offer the drink driving rehabilitation course because of the risk you pose." Poses risk, doesn't get custody, doesn't even get the rehabilitation course. What a fucking nonsense fucking remark that is, you dumbass twat. Blatant risk, recognises the risk that she poses, recognises the custody threshold has been passed twice because both incidents passed the threshold, yet nope, no prison. The sentence was 16 weeks, suspended for 12 months, banned from driving for 3 years, ordered to attend a 6-month alcohol treatment course, and must pay £300 in costs. Chair of the bench, Celia Metcalfe, unknown justices of the peace, at Tameside Magistrates Court. Oh my god. Getting over the drink drive limit twice. First time being 3 times over it, second time being 5 times over it, and being let off. God alive. And recognising you should be in prison right now. You've met the threshold twice for these 2 offences. And you are a danger to yourself and the public. Each offence aggravates the other. But no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. We'll let you off. Safe. Fucking joke. And so, continuing much in the same vein of everything being a fucking joke, this article is of Georgina Bretman, who was charged for animal cruelty. You know, we love a good bit of animal cruelty, don't we? This article came out on the 22nd of September 2017. So, Georgina Bretman, 28, from Rue near Helensburgh, did inject her black and white Cocker Spaniel Florence with insulin such that it made the animal collapse and suffer from convulsions and seizures. So not some trifling fancy, not like, oh, a little bit of neglect, forgot to feed him, just full-on actual abuse here. The dog could have fallen into a coma or died. No motive could be discerned aside from seeking attention. So bitch being a bitch. Her former employer, Leslie Hurd, grew suspicious after the 2-year-old dog needed emergency treatment on several occasions after collapsing, twitching and vomiting. Every time, tests showed a low glucose level. She told the court, "Because of the pattern of collapse and low blood glucose on each occasion, and the fact that the dog was normal between episodes, I was suspicious insulin had been administered to the dog. So, with such contemptuous behaviour in her record, having been held to account for such vile behaviour, what she's been getting up to, what do you think she was sentenced to? A community payback order. 140 hours unpaid work, and banned from keeping a dog for 2 years, but not banned from working with animals. Sheriff Kerr at Glasgow Sheriff Court. What? I despair. I genuinely despair. Next case. 27th of May 2017, Joanne Lindsley, benefits fraud. Joanne Lindsley, 51, of Twizygill View, Easington, Saltburn, was overpaid £20,794 in job seekers allowance and employment support between January 2014 and October 2016. After failing to declare, she already had £50,000 in a second bank account. As you do. Teesside Crown Court heard she had received bad advice from friends, which, from my interpretation, really means they sounded like as if they conspired with her. She pleaded guilty to 2 counts of fraud by failing to disclose capital affecting benefits and faced a potential 21-month prison sentence. She is now currently repaying £100 a month. Now, whilst discussing this case, I want to hark back to these cases in the family courts, how guys are being prosecuted and facing serious repercussions if they don't declare all their assets to the other side so that the ex-wife can, claim shitloads from them. And these guys are being hounded if they aren't fully declaring. This bitch here does it. And let's see what the judge remarks, actually, before I carry on. Can I make it clear from the outset that you're not going to prison today? I can see that you're frightened and worried about that. So people who are frightened of prison should be, spared the horror of being locked up for, your obvious offences. I digress. So let's continue with his remarks. I'm persuaded that the reason you committed these offences was because you listened to friends who gave you bad advice about what was going to happen to the money you got as a result of your parents' will. I would be very surprised if the courts ever saw you back in front of them for any further offence. Yeah, guys get hounded because they didn't fully declare everything in a fucking private law. And this bitch, £50,000 she kept hidden and claimed over £20,000. And it's like, oh, you didn't mean to. Whoops. You received bad advice. It's okay. We don't think you'll ever be back again. Sentence, 4-month imprisonment, suspended for 18 months. Judge Deborah Sherwin, Teesside Crown Court. Onwards and upwards. 17th of August 2016, Anne-Marie Moylan and Samantha Sanguine, possession of an offensive weapon and assault on a police officer. Good offences, good charges. Let's see how it goes. Anne-Marie Moylan, 21, from Harperley, Manchester, and Samantha Sanguine, 24, from Wythenshawe, Manchester, did both enter their neighbour's home, brandishing kitchen knives in a tirade following problems with drinking and late-night music. When arrested, Samantha did spit at an officer. Sanguine had no previous convictions but 2 cautions in 2013 and 2010 for offences against a person, including ill treatment of a child. Moylan has 38 offences against her, the most recent of those 7 years ago. In 2007 and 2008, she was 12 or 13 years old, and most of her crime involved some form of assault. They both admitted possession of an offensive weapon, and Sanguine admitted assault of a police officer. Police officers, you might have seen on those cop shows where they get, where they arrest the scallywags and they stick them in the back of the van, and they've got that meshing, haven't they? That meshing is when people spit, is to catch the spit because you can get hepatitis from scallywags, all kinds of horrible diseases. They hate spitters because you can get real fucked up illnesses from it. And here this bitch is doing it. Got history, both of them have history of, violence and offences. And going in a drunken tirade, fucking kitchen knives into somebody else's place. Psycho. And so what did the judge remark? The judge remarked on February 11th, on this occasion, you were both living in supported accommodation, whilst no doubt in drunk or some form of intoxicated state, because that lets you off, that's mitigating. There was a nasty incident which distressed them and led to you all living separately. You are both self-indulgent, foolish women who need to be brought up short and need to take responsibility for your lives, especially since you both have children. Lucky for them. You must both understand that knife crime is serious. The presence of knives at any event where tempers are likely to be lost is a bad idea. We all know incidents where the presence of a knife can lead to serious injury and death. You are both very fortunate young women. So after that real slap on the wrist, that serious admonishing that they received from this judge who seems to be taking their case very seriously, what was their sentence? Well, Moylan got 8 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years. Yes, and a rehabilitation activity requirement for 30 days to address her life. Sentence for Sanguine, 8 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years, a 3-month curfew between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m, and a community order already in place will continue. So your punishment for this new offence is that your punishment for the old offence still carries on, even though it's going to be carrying on anyway. What's about said about learning their lessons? Yeah, you need to take responsibility for your lives, especially since you both have children. Yeah, Judge Martin Rudland of Manchester Crown Court, I'm pretty damn fucking sure they're going to start taking responsibility after this serious incident. You know, they've really had their reckoning. They know that this is a turning point in their lives, thanks to your judgment. Dickhead. Moving on. 9th of December 2014, Yasmin Thomas. 18 convictions for assault and breaching of a suspended sentence. Real, highbrow stuff. Sounds like a right classy lady. Yasmin Thomas, 21, who is actually this bitch here, did attack Mr. Ronnie Lee, who's this poor fella here. A total stranger to her, he was. Attacked him even in Barso nightclub in Bournemouth with a broken glass, causing a serious gash to his left eyelid which needed stitches, and he had 2 smaller cuts to his face. The injuries were so close to his eye, it was feared he might lose it. And that's him there, with the gashes and stuff around his face. Well, mate, the court heard Thomas had displayed unacceptable behaviour 3 times since she was sentenced for the attack. So she's clearly not learnt a fucking lesson. She's a psycho bitch. The judge said he was willing to give her a chance. He also said he would not reveal details about Thomas's past in open court in case she found them embarrassing. Oh, poor her. Oh, poor bitch. Oh, poor psycho bitch who likes to glass people she don't even fucking know in the face. We wouldn't want to upset her now, would we? Her precious feelings. Jesus Christ. Disappointing. Her sentence, 12 months suspended for 2 years, 80 hours community service, ordered to attend an anger management course, ordered to pay £1,000 compensation to Mr. Lee, and £150 in costs. Judge John Harrow at Bournemouth Crown Court. I mean, seriously, I just give up on our legal system. I really do just give up. Just lost for words, I am. Lost for fucking words. I'm beginning to realise now with this new camera setup I've got in this other part of my room that where the lights are really fucking hurts my eyes. But I've got to keep myself illuminated so you can see how deliciously unattractive I am. Crikey. Anyway, I'm getting slightly off topic again. Final case of the episode. This article came out on the 18th of December 2017. And this wasn't initially in my script, but after having read this case this morning, I thought, fuck, I'm going to throw it in today's episode. So, Luann Budgeon, 33, of Radcliffe. This is a drunken assault, which she's gotten done for. So, 33 of Radcliffe, Greater Manchester, did violently assault her wife when in a drunken stupor as punishment for her leaving a dinner party early to take care for her 3 children. That's right, if you have maternal duties to tend to, you deserve to be stamped in the fucking head. Take that, you bitch. Apparently this is okay now. This is what this psycho bitch did. So 3 hours after her victim had left the party, Luann ordered a taxi home asked for money from her wife to pay for said taxi, and then when they got inside, she dragged her wife from their bed by her hair, after a bit of a heated argument. She then punched Haley, her wife of 18 months, in the head at least 5 times before storming out their bedroom. Haley, who was in her 30s, suffered pain and minor bruising and called in the police following the attack in the moments before Christmas Day last year. In a statement, she asked for her partner to be subject to a restraining order and told officers, "This incident has made me realize that the relationship is over. I cannot be with someone who is violent. I'm very upset and heartbroken that someone who I was genuinely in love with could do this to me and had harmed me in such a way." Now you'd have thought, with all this effort on domestic violence to really stamp it out, that Luann Budgeon, 33, of Radcliffe, Greater Manchester, would be put in her place. Well, let's find out how it went in the courtroom. At Manchester, great place, Magistrates Court, a wonderful court that's very strict and firm with people, Budgeon wept as she admitted assault, but walked free after she blamed her behaviour on domestic abuse she had witnessed as a child. Because that's a good justification. Hey, I learned how to do it good when I was a child, which means I'm allowed to do it when I'm an adult. But you think that's bad, it gets better. She said she also suffers from polycystic ovary syndrome, which causes her to have high levels of male hormones. Essentially, what this is implying is domestic violence is something to expect if you have male hormones. That she was violent because of this inner masculinity that was coming out. And that's a justification she used. The court heard Budgeon had 5 previous convictions, including criminal damage and assault, but there was no history of domestic violence in her relationship with Haley. Well, there fucking is now, and I dare say it's going to continue. But no, the fact that, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be violent, it was my inner man coming out. It's because I suffer from high masculinity because of these male hormones. Can you imagine that? Like dudes being in court saying, sorry, it was my inner masculinity, my male hormones. How well do you think that would fly? And the fact that they're trying to imply that male hormones causes violence against women. That it inspires domestic abuse. And that's what was accepted by the court. Unfucking believable. District Judge Samuel Guzzi remarked, "You have clearly had some trauma in your own upbringing and have been exposed to abuse, but you need to understand what you did to Haley. Although your children didn't see anything, if this continues, you will be exposing your own children to the behaviour you grew up with. Clearly there's a lot that's gone on in your past, which is contributory to maybe the way you behaved. The most important thing in dealing with you is for you to be able to work with the probation service. You subjected Haley to quite a sustained assault whilst in drink." Oh, that's alright then, she was drunk, she didn't mean to. "I make no order for compensation. It's clear you want to reconcile, and I don't want to put anything between that. I hope through the assistance you will get that maybe you have the chance now to put to bed your own upbringing and bring your children up with Haley in a loving and caring environment. Sentence, 12-month community order, and £170 in costs. Judge, District Judge Samuel Guzzi at Manchester Magistrates Court." You can see why I left that case for last. That, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be horrendously violent in a drunken rage against my wife. It's just my inner male hormones taking control of me, coupled with this abuse I'd suffered previously. Oh, that's okay then. You didn't mean to. It was the hormones in the drink and your previous abuse. We'll let you off. Goddamn believable. And it's cases like this why I started the fucking list in the first place. To keep a fucking tabs on dickheads who do shit like this. Just how the... What an indictment of British justice. It's just a fucking joke. I give up. I really do give up. And speaking of giving up, I think it's time to end this video. I'm at something like 20 minutes, maybe. 19, 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm in a cheery mood now. Fuck yeah. What a great way to make me feel great. Yay. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Toodle pip.